This Tuesday night, 8 p.m, right here on Rugby League Outlaws channel. We have Rugby League Rumble. We've got 4 super fans sitting in the Coliseum of Trivia, going to battle of Trivia, introducing the competitors. For Parramatta, you have Victoria. To say she knows a lot about her team is an understatement. She's going to try and do something that they haven't done for 60 years and win. For the Cowboys, you have Sam, who just may, like his team, fluke something and then in round 2 be terrible. For Penrith, you have Nat, a lawyer by trade. Well, I'm the judge and I'm the jury on Tuesday night. Get it? Law stuff. And then, representing the Sharks, you have Terry.
Hello!
Get down there.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Dan, belter of a weekend for footy.
Weekend, lots of tries.
Lots of tries. I tipped a perfect round.
Yeah, well.
All went
Nicely
well.
done.
All went well.
Is that what you were after?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of us honoured our word and tipped the Titans.
Well, let's talk about it now because we're a week away from Origin selections being announced. We're going to run through some
thoughts, perhaps?
Some thoughts about both teams. Let's start with Queensland, reigning champions, current shield holders. There is a conundrum at, in the back line. Dare I say, Kalen Ponga looked absolutely brilliant on the weekend at 6.
Very good. His best game of the season.
His best game for a very, very long time.
Yep.
But with Kalen Ponga at 6, he's not going to take Cam Munster out of the equation.
No, absolutely not.
He's probably not a halfback, so he can't take DCA out of the equation. And obviously Sam Walker's form dropped off a cliff, so there's your halves partners there now.
Pick himself.
Ponga versus Walsh at fullback. Walsh is the form fullback of the competition, leading the Dally M's. Yeah,
it's hard to argue with that. Ponga been very good, been there before. All the talk of the weekend has been that they'll go with the one who's been there and done that. Been very good at Origin level, but when's the last time you played fullback?
Yeah, and if I'm Reece Walsh, I'm sitting there thinking, well, what more can I do? Because I'm going to be feeding the ball to Selwyn Cobbo. I'm going to be feeding the ball to the Broncos forwards who are going to get picked.
Val?
Yeah, I'm going to be running around these guys here, but on the same flip of the coin, you got a guy who's been there, but he's also had to miss time mid-season for head knocks.
It's true. Now, Ponga's form over the last couple of weeks has been patchy at best. He had a really good game over the past weekend, but Reece Walsh had, 8 good games this season? For me, you have to go Reece Walsh. But you can put Ponga on the bench. He's done it before.
You can put Ponga on the bench, but that means you have to drop Ben Hunt.
You don't have to be doing that. That's a winning combination going way back.
You can't go on into an Origin game with Ben Hunt and Kalen Ponga. Now,
well, it's funny you say that, but New South Wales may be doing that, which we'll discuss later. But no,
but your
you
coach
can't.
is actually an idiot. So
no, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Now, the other 3 players that I actually want to bring up. Tom Gilbert, he has played himself.
Oh, close, yeah.
He has to be the starting lock. Ruben Cotter will need to play in the front row, I feel.
Yeah, that's fair. With Big Tina.
Now, Connolly Lemuelu, he's an interesting one because he's only played for Samoa.
Yep, so he's available for Queensland?
I'm pretty sure he's available for Queensland. I'd be picking him. Yep. There is one player I wouldn't be picking, that's Jeremiah Nanai.
Oh, he can't.
No.
I think he'll miss Origin 1 anyway, through suspension.
I think he'll miss Origin 1
no, good shout.
David Fifita.
David Fifita, what
Let's
about
talk
K-Well?
about David Fifita.
K-Well just quickly. No? Okay,
No.
Well, mate, Fifita would be my first player picked.
Yeah.
And, obviously you're going to go Munster first. But I would pick Fifita first. His form has been incredible. He did absolutely everything he could to get him home over the weekend. Unfortunately, his teammates let him down. But he outran noted speedster, supposedly, Lachlan Miller over 100 metres, easily.
Yeah, he did. So I'm feeling pretty good about what the team that Queensland can put out. Where I feel that Queensland may struggle is injuries and depth over the 3 game. But if we were to pick our best 17, I'm pretty confident that we can retain the shield.
It's completely fair. I'm not going to go on camera this year and say something silly and have it thrown back in my face. So yes, Terry, I agree.
Now let's talk about New South Wales because I think that the New South Wales team really picks itself.
Well, I thought Queensland picked itself. I disagree. I don't think New South Wales picked itself at all. But let's discuss.
And let's not talk about the Nico versus Jerome Luai at the moment. But
Nico.
Huh?
Nico.
for mine, you've got 3 players. You've got Campbell Graham,
Yep.
Josh Adokar, and Tom Trbojevic fighting for 2 positions.
2 positions, yep.
James Tedesco is going to be fullback.
Yep.
Brian Toto is going to be on one wing.
Yep.
Latrell Mitchell is going to be the other winger.
Absolutely correct.
Now, Brad Fittler cannot not pick Josh Adokar if he's fit.
I agree.
If he's available, he has to play.
He has to learn from his mistake last year. We called it out right here.
Yeah.
And then Adokar spent the entire World Cup pulling his pants down. So,
Yeah, so
if he gets through this coming weekend, he's picked.
Adokar, don't worry about his form for the Bulldogs. Worry about him on the big stages. He kills it for Australia. He kills it for New South Wales.
Always.
That's his passion. Rep footy is his
He's got
passion.
the dog in him.
So, you then got Campbell Graham versus Tom Trbojevic. Now, we watched Tom Trbojevic get burnt by Britton Nakora, and he can't stretch out. Now, as a proud Queenslander, I hope that you pick Tom Trbojevic.
Never thought I'd hear those words from a Queenslander.
I hope that Campbell Graham does not get picked, because every time he touched the ball in the Souths game against the Tigers, he looked like he was going to do something special.
Yeah, look, I think Campbell Graham has to be picked. I don't. Look,
They're going to do something stupid and pick Campbell Graham on the wing.
Look, that was where I was going to go. That's my biggest concern, that they're going to put Turbo on Campbell Graham. That Campbell Graham will get burnt trying to cover for an injured Turbo, and he'll be the one that gets ultimately dropped with Crichton coming back in. Now, look, I don't think any of those players I name will do a bad job, but I'm absolutely not picking Tommy Turbo. And I'm going on Wednesday, full disclosure, spoiler alert, 0 tackle. There'll be an article that pretty much says that. Tedesco's form is not good, but he has 4 million runs on the board. I'm not worried at all. He always lifts. Even when he was a Tiger, he was fantastic. New South Wales. So I'm not worried about that. Turbo, though, Val Holmes will probably look at that matchup and say, num.
Yep.
He looks at Campbell Graham and thinks, God, it's going to be a tough night.
Now, you've got another 3 players that only fit into 2 positions. You've got Jerome Luai, Nico Hines, and Api Coruscant.
Yep.
So, one on the bench, one at 5'8".
Well, I'm picking one hooker because Damien Cook plays 80 minutes every single week except Origin, and it never works.
Never works.
His best games are when he sees things and he goes. Not, I've got 20 minutes, I've got to do. No,
Let him
Cook.
go.
Forget Coruscant.
Yep.
Nothing against him. I think he's playing very well at the Tigers considering.
Yeah, Damien Cook
Get rid of it. You pick Luai and Nico, you start Luai and you put Nico on the bench or vice versa. I don't care. It has to be those 2. I don't want to see 2 hookers, and I definitely don't want to see both, because there is talk that if Whiten was available, it would be Whiten and Coruscant, and I hate that so much against your mongrel pack that come on and kill them.
I honestly hope we go into an Origin game where Josh Adokar and Nico Hines have been left out. That would just be incredible.
It cannot happen, which means it probably will.
Dan, we've had the highs of talking Origin. Let's talk about your best mates. The referees.
It's been a tough weekend to be a referee defender, mate. I'll tell you now, especially Toddy.
Yeah, we are, we don't go too hard on the referees, I'd like to think. We give a pretty balanced view on that. But the one thing that's really starting to wind me up is the whistle on the fast break.
Got any examples, Terry?
Yeah, Justin Olam ran in on defence against the Broncos, and the ball hit him in the head, bounces forward. Xavier Coates picks the ball up, runs the length of the field. Now, Todd Smith has got 3 options in this scenario. Option 1 is to stuff it up and blow your whistle because you think the bloke's knocked on.
Yep.
Now, if Melbourne had a challenge available, they could have challenged it, but they wouldn't have got the try because he blew the whistle.
Yep.
Don't blow your whistle. Option 2 is to let Xavier Coates really fast run the length of the field, and you go down there and call it a no try.
Yep.
That's your
Easy.
second option.
Very easy.
Your third option is to let Xavier Coates run down the field, get tackled before the try line, and then go, hang on, I just got tipped off by the touchy, it's knock on.
Spot on, 100% agreed. Now, in fast motion, full disclosure, I thought it was a knock on. But
It clearly came off his head.
But we're watching from a TV, and I'm sitting 10 metres back on an angle that Channel 9 or Fox or whoever we're watching decides. Not a bloke that's you to me away. Their touch judges there, and on the replay, it clearly sconed.
And the same thing happened the week before in the Dogs Raiders game.
Yeah, true.
Ball hit Jack Whiten in the head. Yeah. Raiders pick the ball up and score. It's 40-26. They take he blows the whistle, gives it a knock on. There's no challenge. Dogs go down the other end and score, and they're back in the game they didn't deserve to be in.
It's been a rough week. Now, okay, that was terrible. Don't get me wrong. Refereeing errors in the heat of the moment, okay, you're going to get it. Now, the inconsistencies, they annoy me, but you got 2 different people two different situations. Okay, I completely get it. What I don't like and what I cannot understand for life me is we spent how many trillions and trillions of dollars on this supposed bunker? 30 high definition TVs, slow motion from every angle, and they're still getting the obvious decisions wrong. That is my problem.
Yeah.
You said before that you'd have one person work the bunker with a second person overseeing them, and we floated the idea of 3 and majority rules. Most times 3 well-trained, supposedly professionals should say, we all agree. Sometimes you get the 2 to 1, you go with mob rule. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's going to work more often than not. At the moment, I swear they're going before the game, oh, is anyone available? Oh yeah, I'm hungover, but I'll give it a go, because it's been atrocious. And as you said, I don't like bagging the referees. It's old and it's lazy. Everyone who ever loses, oh, we didn't get this from the refs. Now that's lazy. But the last few weeks, you've got to beat 13 plus 4 plus refereeing, because I swear it's toss of a coin. Yep, no try.
My issue with the bunker, Dan, and I'm glad that you brought it up, is you've got the referees in the bunker.
Yep.
It's Jerry Sutton, it's Ashley Klein, it's Chris Sutton. Casey Badger as well. These are the people who referee the game, so they all interpret it the same way.
Yep.
They actually need to invest in outside people.
Just train someone to work the bunker?
Yeah, train people to work the bunker, look at the scenarios and turn around and go, the referees may interpret it this way, but this is the interpretation. Do not go outside of this. Here it is, right here, and if it falls outside, it's wrong. This is how you're going to tunnel vision it. Because
seems so simple, doesn't it?
Because the thing is, you get Jerry Sutton on a Thursday night make one ruling, and then you get Ashley Klein on the Friday night on the same play with a separate ruling, and then you get Chris Sutton, who's got no idea. When he's on the field or a touchy, he's got absolutely no idea, and then he goes in front of the box and he's like, I think he, I don't know.
Todd Smith, though.
I think he was let down. He was let down by the bunker and he's let down by the touchies, but I've never seen someone have 5 challenges overturned.
Yeah, it was not good.
Not good. Now, speaking of not good, we got the Roosters.
Yeah.
And we got the Eels.
2 teams that were premiership favourites that some idiots on a couch somewhere put 2nd and 5th, I believe.
Yeah, 2nd and 6th.
Yeah, definitely in the top 8. Look, it's a long competition and it's so close that they could come back and pants us in the next few weeks. But, geez, those tricolours aren't looking much chop.
No, that Roosters team on paper should be so much
good.
better than it is.
So good.
You can't... Like, a loss to the Sharks by 10 points is probably acceptable away from home, right?
Yeah, I agree.
You can't go to that Penrith team who have struggled for points and are not playing good at all. And,
No, not really, yeah.
Nearly cop 50.
No, well, Scott Sorensen put a show on. Like, he had his way with, Angus Crichton, Satili Tupanua, etc., etc. These are like superstar footballers that have just turned to nothing. It all starts in the halves, though. Our good mates at the Supercoach Experience, they recorded a video that I'm going to pretty much rip off word for word. They spent all pre-season training with Sam Walker and Kiri, and then he goes, I'll flip him, and then I'll drop one, and I'll put Joey Manu, who you famously said was the best centre in the game and the worst 5'8" in the game, banging tweet, by the way, and now they're all over the place.
You can't show me a worse 5'8" than Joey Manu. And the evidence is there. Any time that there is an overlap, the ball goes to him, it dies with him.
He runs 11 times out of 10. It's not good.
He either needs to play fullback or he needs to go back to the centres.
The world's best centre.
World's best centre.
Put him back in the centres.
I mean, you'd be better off with Drew Hutchison
look,
the 6.
There's a very good chance that he'll play this coming weekend. But that forward pack, now I'm not gonna dunk on Angus Crichton. He's had he's got his off-field issues.
I don't feel he should have come back.
No, I think you need a few more weeks in New South Wales Cup at least.
I feel that he's tried to come back and get in the Origin team.
Yeah, fair call.
And I feel Fittler's going to be stupid enough to pick him.
We definitely shouldn't, because he doesn't. His form nowhere near deserves it. You got the Butchers and the Baker, the candlestick maker, all playing terrible football. And this time last year, I was claiming that 2 of them should have played Origin.
Yeah, Nat Butcher should have been in the Australian team.
Yeah, and his brother's not far off. Now, though, they'd be flat chat making the Jets.
Yeah, I feel that they can turn it around. I feel that there's too much talent there for them to not excel, but there's some simple tweaks that get Sully out of the centres, put him back on the wing where he's a target. You can swap it with Jackson Barlow if you have to and put him in the centres.
Easy switch.
Get Joey Manu back there into the centres. Bite the bullet and bring Sam Walker back.
Yeah.
Put Drew Hutchison there. You just can't have Joey Manu.
No, now he is injured, but a couple of weeks from now, absolutely.
They're not going to miss him.
No, but Parramatta.
Parramatta are the team that you've got to start going, because they've got pretty wretched run. They just got beat by Canberra. They started off really well in that game against Canberra, but I think had they had Mitch Moses, they probably iced that game.
Look, probably. Now, Sean Lane looks at a few weeks again. His form has been good since coming back. His luck, though, is way out there. Ryan Madison was okay this weekend. I really rate him. Junior Paulo, though, for all the talk he gets, he's not playing very well.
No. Again, he's another one who's going to walk into the Origin team. So, yeah, look, for mine here with the Eels, you're going to start getting worried because, spoiler alert, they're going to get flogged this week.
Completely fair. So out of the two, Terry, who do you see making the 8?
I can see the Roosters scraping into the 8, again like they did last year.
Yeah. Well, my mate AJ said the last few years they've started really badly and had good form towards the end, which, you know, you want to peak at the right end, but there's going to be a season where that doesn't happen.
It's no good peaking and then coming 7th and getting knocked out.
It's true. You've got to peak a few a little bit earlier.
Yeah, you need to start the season well, have a slump. Now, speaking of slumps, Jack Bird is just in a career slump. He's attacked his own fans. He's attacked fans of the game. He's not attacking a line.
No, he's not. Now, I'm on record as saying I hate when players come out and say, you've never played the game, so you don't get a say. Okay, well, every restaurant and hotel review in the world is just void. Mm-hmm. People have opinions about stuff. People pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to travel interstate, internationally even, to go watch their teams play. Now, the Dragons are disgusting. They're the worst team in the comp. Give me the Tigers over them any day. At least they put in. And they've got players coming through. Now, the Dragons just simply refuse to sack this Dadovic coach. So
good.
Their I love it. Mm-hmm. Their fans are angry. God help them this Tuesday or Wednesday night, whenever this fan forum is. I wouldn't turn up. Everything's wrong.
Cancel it.
I'm not going because it's going to be hellacious, but they deserve it. The last thing these long-suffering fans who are looking at a wooden spoon, and they haven't signed anyone good next year either, so next year's not going to be much better. Ben Hunt's their best player.
Jaden Sewell to the Storm.
Dead set. And you got Ben Hunt, who's like approaching 35, and he's aged 5 years in the past 2 weeks alone. And you got a player coming out and saying, well, you don't get a say because you never played football. They couldn't be any worse than Jack Bird's playing at the moment.
But what level does that state? Does it mean like you just need to go and play one game for the Cornwall Cougars and you can have a say? Or
I played one game as a kid. It's a well-known fact. I was smashing people in defence. I got tackled, cried, and played soccer for 15 years. Is that good enough for you, Bird? I guarantee you, Birdie, I played about as well as you did this weekend. Terribly.
Yeah.
Just stop bagging the fans. And that goes to everyone. We made a joke about Nathan Cleary. Now, if anyone can say that, he's pretty good at football.
He's pretty good, yeah.
But, mate, we all know you think that way. Just
These guys pay for the memberships, pay for your wages. So if they're pretty upset that you have lost to the Tigers and are on a 6-game losing streak and have the worst coach and you are overweight and not caring about your conditioning and they want to tell you that, just cop it on your chin.
Just cop it. Hit the block button if you need to. But seriously. Jerry.
Talk to me, Dan.
Time to talk some black, white and blue. And boy, is it more fun this week than it was last week.
Oh, jeez, it was awful last week, wasn't it?
Doesn't matter. Can't remember.
Wasn't much better this week.
Ago.
But yeah, look, a win's a win.
Are Manly our bunnies now and why?
Well, it's the first time ever we won 3 in a row against them. We entered the comp over 50 years ago, and this is the first time we've ever won 3
It's pretty crazy.
in a row.
M2 in a row at Brookvale too, which is fantastic. But I think someone tweeted that we needed to win 17 in a row or something to bring it even respectively close.
Yeah, they've won 73% of the match-up games.
But hey, we won the ones that count, the last 3. So
yeah, that's
Rugby
all.
League.
No one remembers the 70s grand final because you weren't alive. Go to bed.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly right. Well, let's get into the nit and grit of the game. What have our edges done? More importantly, T. Wilton and Britton Agora to cop these hospital balls week in, week out.
Now, there was a rumour earlier that has since been shut down that T. Wilton was looking at moving to Penrith.
Yeah.
It's probably to get away from Matt Moylan because the hospital pass. Now, today, the only thing that really annoyed me today was Teague ran a good line as a decoy and Matt Moylan hit him on the chest. He got hammered and lost the ball. And everyone goes, oh, Teague's hands are no good. Okay, you probably should have caught it. Later in the game, Wade Graham comes on, gets the ball, does his best Pat Mahomes impression, throws it. Teague Wilton, fearing for his life, puts his hands up and bats the ball down, and everyone goes, "Oh, Teague dropped it again." Of course he did. Are you kidding me? The bloke got stitched up.
Because if he caught it, he was going to get belted.
So I'm willing to give Teague a pass on both those because they were disgusting hospital passes.
And he didn't even drop the ball.
No, he batted it down through fear.
The first one, he didn't even drop it. There was no evidence that he dropped it.
They overruled it.
I mean, and then Nakora as well. Like, there are so many times where these guys run decoys. They get the ball, get hammered, get up and give him a mouthful. Yeah. But if you have a look when the camera pans out, Will Kennedy's blowing an absolute fuse because if you pass the ball to him, it's 4-on-2, and Kennedy don't make bad decisions.
No, look, we probably have 3 or 4 tries out there today, but to win and to be able to say that is quite fun. We do laugh, but I guarantee both are sitting in an ice bath right now thinking,
cursing.
I wish they'd stop.
Yeah. And I mean, like, as you said, the win's the win, and it was played in atrocious conditions, not because of the weather, but because it was at Manly. But it's great to go out there and just win. Now, Dan, one thing that's glaringly obvious the last couple of weeks is our discipline is just disgusting. 11-4 penalty count, 6-2 in the set restarts due to infringements. I think Ashley Klein probably found about 4 penalties that didn't exist. He found a charge down that didn't exist. And then the bloke throws the ball away and gets it back.
And he goes, "Oh, no, you can take that again."
Yeah, but look, no.
Mulligans in rugby league.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Cronulla really need to do, there was a spell there for a while when we were on our line at 20-2, and we defended Manly set upon set upon set, and then we just kept inviting them back, set upon set, right? But we were gassed. We had nothing left in the tank. We were making 29 metres a set, kicking from our own 40. Turbo was, having the time of his life, just bringing the ball back. Ruben Garrick the same, not Jason Saab because he's useless. But we just invited him in, and we were too tired to be able to cover.
Yeah, completely fair.
I think that a lot of that came down to our rotations were really poor again. Like Royce Hunt destroyed Manly in his openings. It came on with 10 minutes to go. Yeah,
it wasn't good. I don't think. We'll talk about that on Fins Up.
We'll talk about it on
Make sure you catch it. That's where the negativity comes out.
That's where we can absolutely blow a fuse. But
why do we have to keep tackling? Because every time it'd be the 4th, we give away 6 again. There was a point there where I thought Aaron Woods was going to score, and I was like, this is worse than Asada.
Yeah.
And it was, because if he scored, and I was sure at one stage he was going to.
It was a great tackle from Hazelton.
It was brilliant, but he was getting over the advantage line because, as you said, our blokes were gassed.
Yeah, we had nothing in there. It was like we had 6 Toby Rudolphs.
Yeah, and
just in the middle of the field that couldn't catch their breath.
Love you, Toby.
But yeah, absolutely love you, Toby. Can't wait for you to come back, and I'll be tired. But is there an over-reliance on Nicho Hines again?
Yes.
Because if he didn't do anything today, what happened?
Not a lot. Now, Moylan did try. There was a couple of times he went in, and I thought he was one of his better games. He definitely heard the criticism and adapted. And I thought our outside backs just ran, and it's probably still running. Probably ran home just because out of habit. But no Nicho, no Sharks is fast becoming apparent. I don't love it.
No, I don't love it either. And again, we talk about there's obvious solutions in terms of Origin teams. There's obvious solutions for Cronulla, and that's just to pull the pin and put Braden Trindle there. Should have been in there this week.
Yeah, look, I 100% agree. Now, he looked quite good. One missed tackle aside. I thought he looked okay at lock, but it's not his future.
No, it's not his future.
Let's just get it going. But without getting overly negative, there's just a lot to work on. But I'm pretty happy. You offer me a win over Manly at Brookvale, I'll take it.
Now, Talakai, neck injury, looks like it's going to be a week-to-week thing. Oregon Kafusi out, injured. We saw some other players come in and step up. I probably kind of wanted Jesse Colquhoun on the bench instead of Braden Trindle.
I definitely wanted
Jesse
Colquhoun.
And I think if Braden Trindle plays for Newtown, we probably would have won that game.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I noticed in this game is Jesse Raymond was hanging out in the second row a lot, and Britt Nakora was playing centres.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until you mentioned it, and then a couple of things made sense. Yeah. Like what Nakora was doing out wide when he burnt Turbo.
Yeah. So, I like that move because Ramin's bigger, he's aggressive, and you can just sort of switch that. It was more in attack, definitely wasn't in defence.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah, it really works. Jesse Ramin was incredible with the ball today as well.
Decision making though.
He got himself, comes up with a try assist, but there's just those brain explosions that you get with him, and he's just the kind of player that you got to live with him because on his good games, when he's playing exceptional, he tries to do way too much than he should be doing.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm not going to bag Ramin here tonight. I'm not here to bag anyone, in fact.
I thought he was brilliant today.
But couple of decisions you're like, you probably shouldn't have done that. But like you said, it goes with the territory. But Terry, going back to what you said earlier, we missed Sifa Talakai, which means we immediately lost 160 metres, especially out of our own end. We lost touch Talakai, you know?
Yeah.
I think Connor Tracy did pretty well. Certainly put some egg on my face because I didn't like the inclusion. I thought they should have looked at Stone Street or Iro. Now, we don't have clarification on when these players can play.
Iro could have played today.
He could have? That's what I thought, but you didn't say that on Twitter. You said he was ineligible.
No, someone else said that Iro was ineligible. It wasn't me.
Okay, well, fair enough. In that case, yeah, it should have been Iro. But it turns out he's injured anyway.
Yeah, he was injured. I don't think at Manly you could put Stone Street on the wing and Schifroni to centres.
Well, Stone Street was man of the match for Newtown in the centres, just saying.
I think, what, today?
Yeah, now I don't have confirmation
Yeah, I don't have
that actually happened, but you did score a try and set one up and looked very good on the 2 minutes of highlights. So I'm going to run with it.
But look, you know, Connor Tracy is just Mr. Reliable, Mr. Fix-It. He's not Moini Hiroti. I thought he was good defensively. Again, that whole left edge is just scrambling.
Yeah,
that's what they do because Moylan's there. But he looked really good. And one thing about Tracy, he just you're going to get 140 metres from him.
Well, he got as many metres as we expect from Talakai. Now I don't think it wasn't the same metres, but in saying that,
the balls, though.
Yeah, every time he put his hand up, he's running like a kamikaze. I got no problem with him in the team where he's needed. He shouldn't be your first choice by any stretch. But he's the sort of player you need to say, hey, we need a winger, Connor. We need a centre, Connor. We need a prop, Connor.
Yeah.
Because he would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we need a fullback. You're there as well, Tracy. Hopefully not in the halves.
But maybe you should play in the front row because we're not getting a whole lot of metres out of our middle.
No, our producer mentioned to us that he didn't notice Dale Finucane at all in the game. Yeah. Royce Hunt ran for 33 metres.
Hazelton didn't get enough minutes for mine.
Hazelton ran for 120
metres. Yeah, he was monstrous.
He was really good.
He was the big body we needed.
Jack Williams off the bench as well, but this is the thing.
He was very good. Let's not move on. He was very good.
Jack Williams was sensational today. I thought he and Britt Nakora were our two best players. But I know, I love Fitz. I absolutely love Fitz, but we're two props shy of being a genuine premiership contender. Now, I would do anything that we could to get Taniela Paseka out of Manly, and we should have signed David Clemmer. I wouldn't trust Fitz in his rotations to get the best out of them. Clemmer's a 55, 60-minute player, and, Paseka, I think his first stint was 67 minutes against us, had a 3-minute stint, came back, a 3-minute sit-down, came back on for the final 10 minutes. I wouldn't trust Fitz to do that.
No, completely fair. I don't think any of our forwards got the minutes they perhaps.
No.
I know it's hard to say. I don't like Trindle defending at lock. I think that is a waste.
I think it just proves one thing though, that he can defend.
You can defend, but he should be defending a little bit wider.
Should be defending on the edge.
Now, just before we move on, your left side, 100% correct. They scrambled all day. When I looked at that and thought, oh geez, they got Olakau'atu running it. It put him down for a try. He nearly scored late on, but other than that, we kept him very, very quiet. So big shout out to that group. But in the middle, we lost to Bullymore, Aaron Woods, Paseka. Most people
happy to lose to Taniela Paseka. We need to bring that guy to Cronulla.
But we need now. Look, obviously Kafusi wasn't there. We're missing Toby Rudolph, so we're missing some big boys. But everyone's got injuries, and it's Ethan Bullymore, mate. Gary,
talk about it.
Time to talk some top sport tips.
Whew.
You were coming off a good week.
Yeah.
A great week even.
Well, between us we picked the perfect round. As always.
As always.
As we do.
Even when we don't.
Even when we don't, we do. People at Top Sport, they absolutely hate us.
They do.
We're giving away too much money to you guys. Make sure you're following.
I'm over the emails.
Yeah, make sure you follow religiously. Now, some great games this week. Starting Thursday night, the Brisbane Broncos taking on the Penrith Panthers.
Oh, that's
this is an audition for Origin for a lot of players.
Big time. This will decide who may lead the competition, maybe South side, into the Origin period.
So everything that I saw from Brisbane and everything I saw from Penrith this past week tells me that Brisbane are good, but they can't match Penrith. I don't care where the game's played. Penrith
just beat a pretty handy team on paper. That Penrith defence is like so good. And their attack had been pretty bad. They're averaging like way less points. But when they're on, they are on. And I think they're going to be on this week. There's one thing about Cleary, mate. Every time Origin rolls around, he plays really well, gets his good games out of the way and plays badly with this guy.
You can't tell me that Jerome Luai hasn't been feeling the pressure, seeing what's been said about him, knowing that Nico Hines He's on the same amount of competition points, reigning Daily M Player of the Year, on his heels. That was a statement game from him, and I think he'll go up there, and they will beat Brisbane pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I don't know about comfortably, but
Comfortably.
I'm willing to. Yeah, I'm tipping Penrith.
Yeah, Penrith comfortably. 6 o'clock on Friday. This game, in seasons past, would have been a blockbuster. It's going to be an absolute bludger. Like I'm telling you, don't race home to watch this shambles, which are the St George Illawarra Dragons against the Sydney Roosters.
Yuck! Didn't they play each other like 3 weeks ago?
This draw sucks, man.
Yeah, it's not good, and I can't think either team would be overly happy with this because now the Roosters should win this game. Let's be honest, but if they don't, the pressure's really, really going to be on them. And I don't think St George want to play anyone at the moment because everyone can beat them.
And if St George don't win, well, it doesn't matter. Anthony Griffin's still going to be their coach.
Yeah, they just can't get rid of him.
Yeah, they won't. Well, it's not that they can't. They won't. Like he's got what 16 weeks left on his contract. Just pay it out.
Yeah, chuck him out the window.
Do whatever.
Roosters by default.
I mean, I don't want to upset the apple cart and pick the Dragons, so I won't.
Yeah, that'd be stupid.
I'll go the Roosters.
Watch him win now.
Friday night. This is going to be a classic for about 10 minutes. The Rabbitohs against the Parramatta Eels. Now, Mitch Moses should be back.
Yeah, she'll be back.
Should be back for this one here, but injuries are starting to kill the Eels, and the Rabbitohs' form is just sublime. Top of the comp.
Rabbitohs are fine. They've got an injury crisis themselves. They lost Tom Burgess before the game the other day.
Premiership favourites.
Oh,
they should be about $2 at the moment.
Yeah, well, they're very, very good. And I think they'll run right. This is a game that you look at on paper and think, delicious. Like I said, by about
Just
20
the
minutes,
two names.
Gornskis.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Souths in this one, and I'm going to pick Souths as well to do this comfortably.
Yeah.
Now, the start of your Super Saturday, 3 o'clock Sharks at home in Coffs Harbour to the Newcastle Knights. Knights had a fantastic win
Very, very good.
against the Gold Coast. Now, two teams that don't like tackling, the Knights, the Titans. I think the Knights looked absolutely sublime. One thing that I think Cronulla will not give Newcastle is time and space. Our edges, we go pretty well in terms of, our right edge anyway, which is the edge that Newcastle attack. And even still, like our left edge, we rush up a lot, so we've just got to hope that we're on like we were against Manly.
Yes.
I'm going to pick Cronulla
Yep.
in this game.
Almost made a career out of beating us up, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know. At six, I think we can contain him.
I hope so, but we've seen this guy literally throwing up as he runs out, only to beat us.
Yeah.
Brodie Jones tore us apart, so the history's not good. I think we do to them what we did to Manly, and we flipped the script and we belled them.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be a building, but I think
said what I said.
I think we'll continue our record at our home away from home.
I'd be very disappointed if we lose this game, but this is another one that if you say, okay, if we're 20-2 up, and they come back at the end and we hold them out, I'd probably take that out now because Newcastle can score some points. I'll give you that.
5:30 at Leichhardt. It's the revenge game. At Leichhardt, the West Tigers against the North Queensland Cowboys. The first time they've matched up since Ashley Klein's howler.
Is it really?
It is.
That feels like...
A long time ago.
Yeah, forever ago. Ooh. This will be interesting.
This will be interesting.
If there's any justice in the world, Terry, there'll be a referee howler.
And the Tigers will lose.
Yeah, it would be so delicious.
I don't like the way the Cowboys are playing footy at the moment. I know they won on the weekend. They beat the Roosters as well, but I don't like the way they're playing footy at the moment. I don't like the Tigers at all. I hate them. They're a pack of losers. That game against South could still be going. They wouldn't have scored a point. So I'm going to pick them to win.
They were brave though, Terry.
No, they weren't. They were terrible.
Yeah, well, I said as much.
Yeah,
You can be brave and not concede many points, but if you can't score, you can't win games. But without getting into Tigers bashing,
I just want to say, I saw a tweet that said, only 6-0 at halftime. I hope we keep it up. What did you hope that you kept up, that the other team scored tries and you didn't? Because that's what happened. And when I said to the Tigers fan, we got exactly what you asked for. No, we didn't. Yeah, you did. They kept it up. They didn't score a point, and the other team scored plenty. That's what you asked for. You pack of losers.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Terry. So you're tipping the Tigers?
Yeah.
You're tipping the Tigers?
Yes, I am.
I'm not, as you may have guessed.
Yeah, good for you.
But this is the battle of the number 7s that I don't particularly like.
I hate the Tigers. And to finish up your Super Saturday, I like this game here. It's the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, your boys are back.
Against the Melbourne Storm. Now, you have a look at the Dolphins, and it's last year's Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to be very familiar with each other,
Very
that's
familiar.
for sure. I'm looking forward to this one, mate. Now, is this back at Suncorp Stadium?
It is.
Oh, it's going to be a big crowd, Saturday night.
Yeah,
Prime
huge.
time football. Nothing else to do in Brisbane?
No, look, part of me really wants to pick the Dolphins in this because I believe in what they're doing, but soon that bubble has to burst, and I think Cam Munster's going to be the first prick in that bubble.
To pop the bottle. Ah, very, very nice. Now, I was going to say something less disgusting than that.
Got him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Look, completely fair and well done also.
Thank you.
I was going to say Cam Munster's in origin mode, so he's going to run right. I don't think this will be a flogging by any stretch, but it'll come down to a late moment of magic, and you can't look past Cam Munster.
Melbourne. Sunday afternoon to destroy your weekend.
Why do they do this to me? Every week. I get excited, I think, yay, and then boo.
The Canterbury Bulldogs against your Gold Coast Titans.
Well, at least my boys might win one for once. But they find a way to lose.
They do find a way to lose. Now, speaking of lose, I hope Cameron Serraldo keeps this Matt Burton at 7 nonsense
It's working for us.
going as well as it is, because they're not going to win a game with him at 7. They don't win many games with him at 6.
No, now I
They've
know.
spent all this money, and what you know what the answer is? Spend more money.
Spend more money. Well, if it doesn't work, keep doing the same thing. They got some injuries. Okay, let's put that right out there. They got some injuries.
So does everyone else.
So does everyone else.
We're missing 3 props.
When are they going to start winning games? Not this weekend, because my boys from the Gold Coast are going to try to lose this game, but not even they can possibly lose to the Bulldogs.
5 weeks in a row, the Gold Coast Titans have scored 26 points.
Yeah, they can score points. They just can't tackle.
But they finished on 26 for 5 weeks in a row.
Oh,
now.
on 26.
On 26.
Well, there you go. I'm going to go out on a limb, Terry.
And so they'll score about 50 in this game.
Oh, yeah. They'll
I
score
reckon they'll
on
have
26.
that Calm Pereira, Jesus.
He's free. He can score a try.
quick.
And that young Campbell, he can find a try, but he can also absolutely not tackle when it comes to it. So,
Brilliant.
In saying that,
Titans by 20.
Titans.
And to finish up your Sunday afternoon, not a bad game. Down in Canberra, really cold. Exactly where Manly deserve to be right now. Getting flogged by the Canberra Raiders. There it is. There's my tip.
Oh, well, very well done. Just Canberra quietly, ever so quietly, building quite the resume.
Now, you have a look. If they hadn't been flogged by Penrith, they'd still be 6th.
Yep.
But there's not that... For them, for Canberra, if they lose one game and the teams around them win, then they drop significantly because of their for and against.
Yeah, good point.
That 41-point flogging that they got from Penrith, because when they win their games, they're sort of winning by 4, 6, 10 points.
10,
but yeah,
Is this a week they make up some ground?
I don't think Manly get flogged. I don't think Manly get flogged. In hindsight, I think Canberra win. And it's going to be like a 32-18. So they might make it up, but they're still in the negative for and against.
I'll take that. I think Jack Whiten has a field day. And I think they win comfortably. And I'll tell you what, Matt Timoko,
First try scorer.
that guy's a freak. And I love him.
Hey all, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow everyone.
Keep the comments coming, please. I love it. I love reading it. I try to reply. Sometimes I forget. I'm getting old. But what you shouldn't forget, Terry, is tomorrow night, by the time this drops, we got Rugby League Rumble. You're representing the Sharks, and I'm completely unbiased. I'm not going to be going for you. I hope you lose for lols.
Thank you.
But you're representing the Cronulla. No pressure. 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Make sure you join in. Maybe live, might be not. Depends how we go. But I'm excited. Rugby League Rumble.
Rugby League, baby.